So, welcome to our first week ahead reading. For this reading, I am using the Threads of Fate Oracle, and this is a deck that I haven't had all that long yet, but I've been really deeply connecting with it, working with it every day, sitting and meditating with different cards, and doing readings for myself, doing readings for others. So I felt like it was time to really go ahead and do one of these kinds of a general outlook, look ahead kind of reading. And so, pardon the card ASMR. There's going to be a lot of card shuffling. ASMR, I'm doing kind of an overhand shuffle, seeing what cards flip out naturally. And our first card here is Movement. There's been a lot of stagnation lately, a lot of this, laying on your stone, basking in the sunlight, kind of absorbing everything, but feeling listless, like there is movement that needs to be happening. And that movement isn't currently happening. We're stuck in this transformatory transitional phase where we are trying to shed the old skin and move out, let that new skin breathe, but we haven't been able to make that transition yet. We haven't been able to make those sorts of changes yet in order to move away and to start having forward motion into the next steps of our path. And so for our next card, what I'm really looking at here is what is stopping us from moving on. And that card here is Destruction, which, very interestingly in this deck, it starts out with the phrase, "What needs to die today?" And that's very much about this transition, about this moving on. We've established connections to things that do not serve us. They may have been really great for us to begin with. They may have been encouraging, uplifting. We may have been making great motion with that, but it is no longer the case where these different things aren't serving us anymore. They are holding us down, and we're constantly getting caught in this cycle of again and again facing the same things, facing the same problems, making a big call out and saying, "Oh, look at this drama," and holding on to it rather than moving forward in our paths and only latching on to those things which really, really serve us in being able to, make those connections, make that next movement. And so it's really time to start looking at what do we need to drop, what do we need to get rid of in our lives in order to free up some more energy. So this next card is very much an action card for me. It is what do we need to do in order to cause this destruction, burn down these barriers, burn down these bridges which are causing us so much, strife in our lives. And the revolutionary is definitely that kind of energy. It is asking you to challenge the status quo. It's asking you to challenge the way things are set in order. With the Twitter community, this very much feels to me like how the fact that there's always this cycle of drama and the same 5 topics getting talked about, and everyone really goes off of that algorithm and who can make the best hot take. But it's time to stop bitching about everything that you think is wrong and how everyone's doing stuff wrong, and to actually start leading the way in what you want the community to be. It's time to really take the reins and start embodying what you want to see. If you want to see more content that's actually mindful and focused on what matters to you, make it. And yes, it's not going to immediately chase that dopamine high. It's not going to get the most retweets, the most likes, because right now, the kind of society that we're in is looking for that spicy take that really gets the wings. But if we want to change that, if we want to really alter that, then what we need to do is really sit down and say, hey, I'm going to build the community the way that I want to see it. I'm going to say no and not engage with that. The thing in the spotlight dances. And the revolutionaries changing where the spotlight is. They're carrying that torch and they're, leading the way to a new future. And so the last card I am pulling now is kind of what we're going to get from this, and that card is Reclaim. So this is reclaiming your own energy. This is reclaiming your own time, reclaiming your own path. This is trusting your intuition, trusting your desires. And when something comes up that isn't right, that doesn't sit right, where you feel like it is taking more of your time than it should be, or it's eating at you and you just can't get it out of your head, it's acknowledging that and really taking back your own will, in a sense. And so, you are taking back your own autonomy and your own right to motion. So much is tied up in these little things that are going on, and these little spats, everyone trying to get their take in, everyone trying to make their commentary. And it's time to, build that new community that you want. It's time to say, hey, no, I'm going to be making this space. I'm going to be actively curating this space for myself and for what my needs are, and living it. So for this week ahead, what I really want everyone to do is to be, mindful of what kind of interactions you're doing, what kind of things you are spending your energy on. We're always talking about in the society about how we never have enough time, how we always, oh, when I have more time, I'll get something done. And the time is there. It's just, where is it being used? What is eating it? What is constantly taking your energy, draining you, and making you not want to come back? So for some people, this might look like turning off your social media entirely for a while. For other people, this could be cutting off toxic relationships that are holding you back. People who are naysayers, who are like, oh, that's stupid that you're doing that. Oh, I can't believe you believe in that. That kind of shit that no one really needs in their life. Like, let's face it, we are all, working on our own paths. A lot of us are, working on heavily spiritual paths where there's a lot of belief, a lot of faith that goes behind that. And, having this constant nagging, oh, but what if it's not really true? It's like, sorry, bitch, I've got the proof here for myself. When I do the work sees me. And, this is very much a week where things are going to be changing, where things are going to be shifting up, so long as you meet it in the middle. It's time to stop basking on that rock and just letting everything go by you. Like, wake the fuck up, shed your damn skin, and, let everyone see your shiny new scales. I know, snakes might, freak a few people out, but let's face it, a lot of the witchy community loves their snakes. And I'm definitely one of them. I like snakes. But, sidetracking aside, this is definitely a week for a whole lot of change. So thank you all for joining me for this little week ahead spread. This is something I haven't done on this channel before. Many of you who follow me on social media know that divination is a huge part of my practice. I'm constantly doing divination. So I thought, it's about time that I start bringing some divination here as well. The deck that I use today is the Threads of Fate Oracle. I'm going to go ahead and link it down in the description. If you want to go ahead and follow me, some of the best places to follow me are going to be Twitter. That's where I'm most active. My handle is Revenant Oracle. Instagram is a place that I've been trying to post more lately. If you want to see more of the decks that I use, more random little rants about different practice things, that is a good place. I do a little more long form there now and then. I also announce anytime that there's sales or specials going on, what kind of divination services I offer, what kind of, crafting things that I offer. And then also there is my Etsy shop, which is also linked in my profile. All these links are going to be down below. My Etsy shop is Ordo Lux, same name as the channel here. Most of it currently is my reading offerings, but I also have prayer cords, altar tiles, that sort of thing that I'm regularly making, and there are now and then commissions that go up as well. Thank you guys for following. I guess the normal YouTuber thing to say is like and subscribe. I'm not very good at that, as my upload schedule shows, but I'm hoping to start really bringing more content here, and this is just the start of it. So keep on the lookout. I'm hoping to start doing more, week ahead readings, maybe month ahead readings. I'm not entirely sure what kind of schedule I'm going to be on yet, but there's a whole bunch of new stuff in the works. So keep an eye out for that, and until then, I'm really bad at outros, so I'm just going to cut it there.